Hello everyone, I am the Wastelander, and in this video I'll be visiting some Fallout 4 locations you probably haven't been to before. Now for the spots we're going to, they're a mix of marked and unmarked locations, some hidden in plain sight, and others a little off the main path. Last thing I wanted to say before we head out is if you're a fan of Fallout, then please feel free to subscribe. I have some cool videos coming up that you may like. Anyway, let's go ahead and head downtown. We find ourselves here at the Haymarket Mall, which is kind of a tucked away location here in downtown Boston. There's so many locations really packed together, it's definitely easy to not explore them all. Before I forget, Haymarket Mall is found here in downtown Boston, but we'll go ahead and head inside. Now the mall itself really isn't what we're after. It's usually not a good idea to have a giant open flame like that inside, but of course these are raiders we're talking about. The mall itself really doesn't have anything of note in it, but there is this elevator right here, which we'll take. This floor really doesn't have much of note on it either. We do find some raiders fighting Protectatrons over here, so we'll continue along and follow this ramp and head to the Haymarket Mall roof. Now we get to the rooftop. There looks to be a storm going on, and there's a nice little fountain there. Kind of a chill area, except for that Deathclaw there, which really sneaks up on us. He's probably gonna kill me. I think he can block their hits though, maybe. And we got him. And this is definitely a spot you may not have been to in Fallout 4. Like I said, the mall itself is pretty tucked away. So besides that Deathclaw attack, there's this little building over here as well, with a steamer trunk in it. And going all the way down through these floors, we find a safe, which of course was just random loot, like most Fallout 4 safes. Heading back up top, we can also jump over to this monorail, but I don't believe there's really much of interest there. Actually, if we take this ramp, we can walk over here. Find some skeletons, and a Protectron, and another steamer trunk. That'll be about it for the Haymarket Mall roof and this little garden terrace. Let's go ahead and head to Diamond City. Of course, everyone has been to Diamond City during a playthrough of Fallout 4, but there is a certain house that you may have missed. So we'll head up these stairs here, take in the view of Diamond City, and we can pick the advanced lock to the Hawthorne residence. Heading inside, we see a lot of cats, like a lot of cats. That one there can partially levitate. That one's in the floor a bit. We see there's a bunch of cat paintings here in the back as well. Those are pretty cool. There's a lot of beer up here as well. So this is kind of an interesting spot in Diamond City, especially since there weren't cats in Fallout 3 or New Vegas. Kinda surprising to see so many here in Fallout 4. But yeah, once again, easy to miss location. That's kinda unique. Anyway, I won't spend long here. Let's head back outside. I don't know why Bethesda didn't program in these guys to swim around in the water. That would have added a really cool enemy to stumble across. I guess those are mutated dolphins, huh? I don't know. Anyway, on the shore of this little inlet, we find an unmarked bunker, which is located here on the map, just a little southwest of Dunwich Borers, and we'll go ahead and head inside. We see a bunch of destroyed electronics and a door. After we enter the pump house door, we can head down these stairs. We see a little control board here and some numbers on the wall behind us. 0451. We can type in 10451 because there wasn't an option for a 0, and that'll open this door. I think it's really interesting that Bethesda used this here because to my knowledge there's no other mechanisms like this in Fallout 4. Kinda interesting. We'll head through the door and we see a bloody skeleton. I feel like this is also really rare to see in the game. Usually the skeletons are just normal, but this one is quite unique, and I wonder why that is. Beside the skeleton, we see the gainer. We'll take that.
Yes.
This gun sets the target on fire for 15 points of damage, which explains the red skeleton. It's burnt, not bloody. We also find this industrial trunk and a fusion core. The gun's pretty cool. Maybe it wasn't a good idea to shoot it in here, but that's alright. I really like this northeastern part of the map of Fallout 4. It's all coastal and just feels very empty. From one unmarked location to another, we find this row of 4 generators with a fusion core over here, which is just southeast of Andrews Station. We'll call this elevator down and head up to a little settlement here, but it doesn't look like anyone is home. We'll head inside this little RV. We see a cat and a master lock safe, some caps on a table, and a piece of paper here labeled Sleepwalker's note. We'll go ahead and read it, And it says it's a sweet setup, Jamal. It really is. Up so high you don't have to worry about nothing. That drop is the only thing that bothers me. You know how I get at nights, especially after I've been drinking. Up here, if I do go out for a stroll, it'll probably be the last. Yeah, I would say if you have a problem with sleepwalking, it's probably not a good idea to live on top of a bridge. Peeking off the southern end of this bridge, we can look down to see a skeleton. We'll hop on down, and the skeleton has a key beside it, labeled the Sleepwalker's key. We'll take that and head back up top, and of course this key will unlock the safe, which really doesn't have anything that great in it, but I guess he won't need it anymore. I wish we could adopt this cat. And that'll be about it for the Sleepwalker's place. A nice little bit of environmental storytelling. Also, feel free to let me know if you've been to any of these locations. I'd be interested to hear if you have or not. Now we can head back to the northwestern part of the map. Look at those mountains there on the right. If I turn like this, they go away. If I turn over here, they come back. You see that? So odd. Anyway, we get back into Concord, where we originally found our friend Preston Garvey, and right about here in the middle of the main street, we find the Concord Speakeasy, which of course is about dead center in Concord, right next to the Museum of Freedom. Heading inside, we're greeted to a little bar area. There's some skeletons over here in the corner. Looks like they were having a good time when the end of the world happened. This guy still has a cigar in his mouth. I'm gonna take it. Thanks. On this main floor, we see a safe over here, with of course nothing major inside. In the back there's a room with nothing in it. We can head over here to the basement, which really doesn't have that much in it either. There is some Wonder Glue and a used oil can. I guess those are good for settlement building. We'll head back upstairs and up another flight of stairs. There's a door here on the left with an advanced lock on it. Inside we find a steamer trunk. Then through this door we'll find another bedroom with nothing much inside. There is a balcony area, which we'll come back to that. Another bedroom here with the door open, and it looks like someone set up some mannequins around a skeleton in the bathtub, and his skull is in the toilet. Another weird spot with some mannequins. Classic Fallout 4. This guy's in bed with one. We find some XL, which is pretty rare. There's a bloody knife under him as well. That'll be it for that room, and this entire location. It's a nice chandelier there. Of course, this is kind of an early area in the game, but getting distracted by those raiders out there while trying to save Preston Garvey, you might overlook the Concord Speakeasy. Now let's head out back to this balcony. There's not much here either, but we'll jump down and head to our next unmarked location. Now this next spot will be just down this road, a little north of downtown Boston. Here it is. We see the sign up top for a gift shop. This location can be found right about here, a little northwest of the Cabot House, and we can head inside to the Science Center gift shop. Inside this unmarked location, we see a Mr. Handy there. We see a skeleton on the ground with some random junk items on the table and on the shelves. Couple mannequins here in the corner with 3 more skeletons. We can talk to the Mr. Handy, and he just carries a bunch of junk items, which is kind of useful if you're working on a settlement. He actually carries a lot of shipments as well, so it's good to know he's here. That'll pretty much be it for the Science Center gift shop. This Mr. Handy's actually a really good vendor if you're looking for any junk items for your settlement. On the loot side, there's really nothing of note. No unique items or collectibles, but once again, a very easy unmarked location to walk past. We'll turn here and head back downtown. Then right over here, we see some stairs to a blue door, and this is the Prost Bar, which is located here, a little northwest of Swan's Pond. We'll go ahead and head inside, and we see maybe a familiar sight to fans of the show Cheers, which I've never seen, but this bar and layout is a reference to that show, and the word Prost is German for Cheers, which is why this is called the Prost Bar. Anyway, looking around in here, we see it's totally abandoned. Plenty of skeletons laying around as well. The wraparound bar is really nice, or used to be nice. Here's a couple of skeletons still sitting up at the bar, all these years later. See a lot of decorations on the wall. We can walk down this hallway, and there's a pool table area. Much more room to play pool than the Boylston Club. We can go through this door, which is just a bathroom. Then there's an employees only section over here with an office and steamer trunk. There's some baseball grenades on the table. Are these candles? I can't really tell. It looks like it. A bunch of files here in the closet. Walking back out, there's a little elevated area over here. Some high tops here on the right. Behind the bar, there's plenty of bottles and glasses, but nothing too interesting. This spot really just serves as a reference to Cheers, which is pretty cool. But other than that, there's not too much going on, so we can go ahead and leave. After weaving through a lot of super mutants and gunners, we can finally find the Ticker Tape Lounge, which is about here on the map, not far from where we just were. It's almost directly south of the Fallen Sky Bridge, and you have to make your way up this road to get to the lounge. This one might be the most hidden away from all the locations we've explored so far, so let's head inside. We see a gunner. After he's gone, we can look around a little bit more. These people love to have fires inside. I don't get it. Look at that fire texture on top of that. Makes no sense, but that's okay. Anyway, we can head behind the bar, find a safe, 7 cigars, and a cigar box, and San Francisco sunlights. What a find. And my bad, there was 5 stogies as well. These gunners love to smoke. Let's head up these stairs. We see the rest of the lounge. Nice couches here. They look pretty comfortable. I don't know about you, but anytime I go into a restaurant nowadays, there's just the most uncomfortable chairs. I guess it's by design, so you don't spend too long in there, and they can flip tables, but still, I think there's a gap in the market for a restaurant with really comfy seats. Heading back downstairs, we can open this door to a little bridge area, and this leads into another big room with some tables up here and a gunner laying over here. I guess this is the rest of the restaurant. Then we have the kitchen over here as well. Looks like they were cooking some dog meat. Then we can open up this door to the balcony. Once outside, we can see a pretty empty terrace with some really nice views. We can catch the end of a sunset. There's really not much of note up here. There's some bottles on the ground, a couple frag grenades, some gunners that I shot earlier. That'll pretty much be it for the Ticker Tape Lounge. A really hidden away area, but unfortunately not too many unique items to find inside. I really wish I had some power armor on right now. Anyway, let's go ahead and head out of here. I should probably quick save before the next location, just in case. There's this drainage pipe here at Walden Pond, which I feel like I've never been in. This isn't where I was planning on going, but a little pit stop never hurts. Wonder where this goes to. Oh, okay. A unique enemy, 2 unique enemies, named Tweez and Bear. Looks like we stumbled into their little hideaway. You know what? Maybe I have been to this location. We find a magazine, Tales of a Junktown Jerky Vendor. Perfect. There's a lot of uniquely named enemies down here. That sewer drain led us to the Walden Pond gift shop, which isn't a marked location, as it can just be looped in with Walden's Pond. Anyway, that's enough getting distracted. We'll continue south until we get to Carhenge, and we see a super mutant behemoth there, which is why I saved earlier. Carhenge can be found right about here, just south of Walden Pond. We might need a bigger weapon to take this guy out. He doesn't even see us yet. Throw a bunch of grenades. I think it's cool how they can throw rocks in this game. Now that he's gone, we can look around a bit more, and we see some cars stacked up. One of them exploded, but we can still see the resemblance to Stonehenge. And I guess what we're supposed to gather from this is the behemoth was the one who put these cars here, shoved them into the ground, and stacked one on top of the others, which is kind of cool. It gives the behemoth a little bit more of a personality, but I feel like most people have seen this location in-game, or at least heard about it, so we won't spend long here. Not like there's too much to see. Other than the behemoth, there's really nothing else to note here, so we'll go ahead and head south. Way down south, near the border of the map, we can find the Splintered statue, which we can see a raider working on there. There's some paint on its leg. We'll take a better look at it here in a second. I almost don't want to interrupt his art project. This location can be found here, just slightly northeast of Somerville Place. We'll go take him out real quick. Now he's gone, we can take a better look at the Splintered statue, which of course is an unmarked location here. Looking around, we see some paint on the ground and a paintbrush. Lots of tools around as well, and there's paint all over the statue. His head has been moved to his hand. There's a box of chems in this hand, and a little tent over here with a sleeping bag. So this raider had a little hideout here, working on this statue. Just like Carhenge with the behemoth, this area kind of gives some personality to some characters who really lack personality. I think that makes the world feel a little bit more alive. It'd be really cool if you could put a replica of this in your settlements in Fallout 4. But that's about it for this spot. Whoa, what is going on? I bet if I ran into that it would kill me. Alright, fine, I'll try it. I took damage, but it stopped. Whoa. I'm like, what? I jumped on it and it just shot down the street. It almost killed me. Oh man, I love Fallout 4. Our next spot can be found here, with the sign outside that says Joe Spucky's. And this is located just east of the Cabot House, almost right beside Pikmin Gallery. Now that sign is a little misleading, as this place is actually called Mean Pastries. Let's go ahead and head inside. Once inside, we see an empty cafe, except for that cat. There's a whole display case that wraps around. We'll jump behind the counter. Walking around, we see their espresso machine, or something like that. Skeleton on the ground. Some cake pans, and then in the corner we see a porta diner. We'll try our luck. This is probably the best form of gambling. Maybe next time. Then over here there's a couple of booths, and that's really it. Mean Pastries falls in the category of unmarked locations near downtown Boston, which are very easy to miss. But just like the others, there's nothing too interesting here, so we can head out. Our second to last location here is actually marked on our map. This is Breakheart Banks, which for some reason has the settlement icon on our map. Just like Greentop Nursery's a settlement, it's the same exact icon. So I'm wondering if this was originally planned to be a settlement and then was just changed to a regular location. But this is just a really insignificant place in a corner of the map you don't really go to as often. So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people have just never been here. Of course, we had found a bunch of super mutants here, which I got rid of, and we can loot what they had. There's a steamer trunk here, some ammo, but nothing else really that notable. There's a lot of corn, but I don't know. I thought this was kind of an interesting spot. There's even these melons over here, which makes me think even more this was supposed to be a settlement. It'd be a cool one, I think. It's kind of a nice view here. Look at this skeleton over here. He's levitating. I love how broken this game is sometimes. That's about it for Breakheart Banks, so we'll go ahead and head to our final location. We'll now enter Salem and head to the northernmost point, and we get tasked with helping clear out these mirelurks. After we clear out the mirelurks, we find ourselves at the Rook family house, which is just north of Salem, pretty much in Salem, way off on the coast by itself. So we'll go and meet Barney here. He immediately invites us into his basement, which usually I'd be against, but for this video, let's just go for it. Now Barney has tasked us with activating his 5 turrets, so we'll help him out and go do that. But first, looking around, we see guns and bullets on the table here, and he has a nice little layout here in his basement. Now we'll head back into town and activate all of these. We can find a fat man here as well. Now all the turrets are activated. We'll head back to Barney. Oh no, they're in the basement. How did they get down here? Barney dead? Oh, he died. We'll take Reba and his key to get Reba 2, which does 50% more damage against mirelurks and bugs. Well, we failed the quest, but still got the rewards. So let's head back outside, and that'll pretty much finish up our time here at the Rook family house. Unfortunately, I think they need to add another headstone out here, which of course was not our fault by any means. But I like this location. I like Salem. It's really off the main path of the game, and it's easy to miss out on. But of course you shouldn't, because there's a nice little quest here, and you get some unique weapons, and a magazine. But anyway, I think I'll go ahead and wrap up the video here. I appreciate you watching. Feel free to let me know how you like this video, and I hope to see you for the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye now.